Guys, it's been a minute. I have been busy with school stuff and deadlines and more school stuff and more deadlines and general life stuff. But right now, I have returned. So, welcome back to another video in my Fossils and Archaeology survival world. And today, I actually don't know yet what we're gonna do. You probably already know, because I'm probably gonna put it in the title and thumbnail, as usual. But right now, I wanted to start off with a little talky bit, you know? Because first, one thing that happened is I got approved for the YouTube partnership whatever thing, which means I got memberships now. And if I get 1,000 more watch hours, I can actually earn from ads, which is pretty exciting. The thing I did with the memberships is just I made 3 tiers, which I believe are all very inexpensive because my main demographic, I think, is like between the age of 20 and 30, and we are not the most, wealthy generation ever. So joining is completely up to you, and I don't necessarily need it. So it's just if you want to go out of your way to support it. I made all of the tiers relatively inexpensive, and they all basically do the same thing. So there's no real special perks other than if you join, I will shout you out at the end of the video or something like that. And that's about it. There's no difference between each tier because I don't feel like playing favorites. Because all of you guys watch my videos, and I think that is more than enough for me, so I treat you all equally. Now, I think that's all out of the way. We can actually get started with getting an idea for today. And so last time we did the Mosasaurus, which for me is now almost 2 weeks ago, which is crazy, time flies by. Let's have a look in the chest. What do we do? Do we stick with the ocean theme? Do we go back to land? Do we go green? Do we go blue? Or do we go dinosaur? I don't know. I could try to do something for Stegosaurus or Tyrannosaurus. But we also haven't done any of the blue ones. So I should probably get on that sometime. I was thinking that if I do, let's see, like Megaloceros, Smilodon, Mammoth, and Elasmotherium. Maybe the Quagga? Like all of the, what are they called? I could make a little dodo enclosure actually. Anyway, these are all like Ice Age things. So I was thinking to, if you look at the map, look how cool that looks by the way. It actually looks like a real park. I was thinking I removed the seasons mod. So I guess that doesn't really matter. Either an indoors area where indoors I have it snow and icy and cold like it's a big cooler of some kind, and then have all the Ice Age animals in there. Or some kind of complex with different buildings connected together. Which could be cool. And I could make it go like this way. So go down towards the beach and you get the aquatic creatures. And then over near the cliffs you get flyers and the Allosaurus. And there's snow on that tree, which is interesting. Must be a leftover of the Seasons mod. If you go up, you get, I don't know, large green fields. Maybe I will, if I ever do, which I will. When I do a Tyrannosaurus, I might put him like right there. And then we can do like Ice Age stuff in this direction, like bordering the forest. I think that all fits quite nicely. Yeah, long intro over. Now I'm gonna actually make a decision as to what I'm gonna be choosing. By the way, I know I technically don't have to do new dinosaur every episode, even though that does make it more exciting. But I could, like in the meantime, I could make like buildings, because I have a bunch of ideas written down in my little book and quill thing. So I could do like in between episodes where I work on something else. But today, because it's been quite a while for me, I feel like making an enclosure for a creature. and maybe a smaller one. I feel like lately I've been doing some massive ones, so now we're going small. And who is small? Dodos are small. Who else is small? Calamimus is not small. Velociraptor is small. Psittacosaurus. And I guess the Ornitholestes. Ornitholestes. I'm just butchering names left and right. Confucius ornis. And Psittapati. I guess those are what you would call small, right? Megalania, I think, is small. That's like the big lizard, right? I don't remember. Right. And I feel like Quagga is just a big horse, so that's low on the priority list. Actually, a Dilophosaurus is small. And I don't have the Metrodon yet. Decisions. My cat wanted to go say hi. Okay, well, I can't decide between these three. The Velociraptor, the Morphodon, and Dodo. I'm going to put it through a little randomizer. So, if you put items in here, and then click the button, whichever comes out will be randomized. Will be... Yeah, okay. It was random, I just got the same one twice. So, I am going to put these three in here. And here we go. Is it like, does it prefer this slot? Because then it's not random. Because that's... I don't know if we are just getting quote-unquote unlucky. No, it does seem to be random. And in that case, we are going to be working on the dodo. Which shouldn't be too hard. And don't worry, the Velociraptor is coming very soon. I want to work on that one. Actually, let me keep the randomizer here. Let's see. And there we have our DNA randomizer-anator that we can use in the future. So, the dodo, what do we know? We know small bird, flightless, recently extinct, because we killed them all. Lived on an island, lays big eggs. I think that's about the extent of my dodo knowledge. Ooh, look. Eclipse. You know, while I'm in this area, this is pretty bare, and I think I could make a little area for it right here. And make it look like a very fancy chicken coop or something, you know? Because it's not some long gone prehistoric creature. It's been here quite recently, so I feel like if we didn't kill them all, we might have been breeding them like chickens for their eggs or something, maybe. Who knows? So I feel like this could be a nice spot and we do some kind of petting zoo type thing. Right? That makes sense? Surely. Well, you'll get the vision later anyway. Something that I also wanted to work on some time is rethinking this place. Right? Because we have the nice cool building, and while I'm mostly satisfied with this floor right here, I feel like it's still quite monotone, you know? It's just the floor and it's just gray with some lamps. But, and there goes my cat. If we go upstairs, so downstairs is lacking color. This is supposed to be my bedroom. Right? Very fancy, not? And I was thinking maybe I could turn this into like a real... do you know like the housemaster's office in Harry Potter where Dumbledore hangs out? I feel like that, but imagine all the magic stuff being like archaeology and paleontology related. I feel like that could work out nicely. So just have a bunch of bookshelves, because I know you can put those... Oh. Because I know you can put those through chipped and get a whole bunch of different varieties. Like this globe. Or Professor, Dusty. That could all fit. And we could have like a nice desk over there. or on the side, and then have the bed right there. It's not the biggest area here. And the windows aren't that visible, so I might just... Wait, can I? I might swap these out, these planks, for like iron trapdoors to give the windows a bit of an edge, but still let more light through, because it's a bit dark in here now. Maybe refine the ceiling more and figure out what to do with this floor, because this can't go on like that. Wait, do I? Oh no, it's only this part. Whatever. Yeah, so that's also on the chopping block, and then I still wasn't sure what to do here. So if you have any ideas for what this area could be sure to tell me down below. Right, where do we begin? I think getting a layout of the place might be nice. Maybe draw up some plans for a path. Maybe make this incline a bit steeper so we have more flat space over here. And then for the actual coop, I think I saw a really nice design on the internet once, but I kind of want to make it my own. So I will still have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for like a slightly larger chicken coop and then a petting zoo idea. So there's like little fences that you can walk in on. And then maybe if there's some other creatures that are similar to the dodo, which I don't necessarily believe, we could add those on later. So like let's get busy. I was thinking something about this size, right? I feel like it's on the bigger side for like a small bird, but why not? And then I was thinking to make the little building like right here and have this all be like free range, so we can get ourselves some free range humane dodo eggs for breakfast. Yeah. And then we need to pick out a nice fence, get a nice floor in, which will probably be a mixture of coarse dirt and other brown colors. And then get the coop in, and then that's... I mean, this is an easy job so far. Maybe get a bit of water in there. Yeah, no, this is pretty straightforward. Oh. So far so good, right? I think this looks pretty cute, pretty cozy. Right. It doesn't quite fit the aesthetic that well, because it's like kind of a barn-y building. And then you just have big concrete building next to big concrete other stuff. But I don't know, I feel like after I add some plants and whatever, it's gonna be nice regardless. Yeah. Also, someone asked me if I was gonna make a Discord server where I could post like general updates or something like that, or where you guys can talk to each other. And I don't know if that's something like at least a few of you would like, then I'll have a think about it. But I'm not too familiar with like running my own server, other than like with friends. So if that's at all within your interest, feel free to let me know about that. Yeah, this is the dodo coop. I'm gonna fill this up with water. Add some grass over here, and maybe like some features for them to, what's it called, climb on or something. Some little rocks, and they can come out of here. And I can access it through here, through a door. They have their little sleeping space. And an inside area. Which looks pretty snazzy. I just gotta make sure to put something interesting in here as well. And maybe add a little latch here going outside. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna do that without it looking weird with the size of these bars. But yeah, so far. Also, this is totally gonna bother me hitting my head on this, so I'm gonna move this back one. So far, so good. I feel. This episode is gonna be less, you know, less grand, less special, less whatever. But I feel like things like this need to happen as well. Just taking my time, working on something smaller. Because if I keep pushing out big episodes like I built a Mosasaurus Lagoon, and then I built the biggest T-Rex enclosure in Minecraft ever, period, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Then it's just, I keep raising this bar, which is just unnecessary. Because I feel like you guys don't really watch for the spectacle. I hope you all enjoy just watching this and seeing the progress, seeing the builds. You know, regardless if it's super interesting or not. Like I did notice when I did I split the episode of the large herbivore enclosure into two. That the one where I did all the landscaping and stuff got like way less views than the video after where I just called it large herbivore enclosure. And although obviously I don't do it for the views or whatever, it does reflect what people are interested in and what they aren't. So seeing that, although it was kind of sucky, you know, because I did put a lot of effort into the first one, it taught me that if I'm gonna do like one thing, if I'm gonna do one big thing, I should probably do the whole thing in one specific video. Because people want to see an end result, usually. I don't really know where I'm going with the yapping. But sometimes I just feel like talking. As you might have noticed, I just remembered I turned off the game audio, which should be back now, but that's a little annoying, to say the least. Oh well. I mean, this looks nice. I like the colors. Like when you come around this corner, you already have the same type of fence right there. And it's just like bam. Little barn place, and I can already see this becoming a nice little cozy corner where you could just watch some dodos feed off the ground or something. Yeah. I'm sure I won't be saying anything new when I say that study load recently has gotten quite heavy. So for the people that are in college or university or whatever, I personally study game design. And so instead of tests that you can just learn for, and if you don't learn from it, you could still kind of get a good grade if you just, I don't know, paid attention in class maybe. But for game design, you need to do projects all day, every day. And the thing is, the workload, sometimes it really gets to me. And when it does, I feel like I can't do anything else. And that's why this episode took so long. So I will have about 4 courses that I'll be doing. And then let me grab some grass. So I will have 4 courses, 4 subjects that all need to be finished on the same date. And being a notorious procrastinator, that doesn't always work out as I would like. And then the date approaches and I will have to cram an entire project into a single day, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. for a visual effects assignment, I kind of made myself jumping over this big fallen log, and then I made this big T-Rex appear from behind the log, like looking for me, and then he kind of stands there and looks at my position and roars, which is pretty cool, which I would show, but it's, you know, me, so I don't know, we're not there yet. Yeah, so that was pretty fun, but it did take forever because you first have to rotoscope the whole thing. So you cut out the background out of a moving picture, and then to get the T-Rex in there, you need to motion track the video to actually have it look somewhat decent, because otherwise the video will go like this, but the T-Rex will just kind of be standing there, you know? So even though the whole camera is moving, then it'll just be standing statically in the exact same position. So that's what the camera tracking is for. It kind of like takes spots from around the environment, and then like it creates this digital recreation of what's inside the video. And then you can take reference points, and with that you can kind of trace the movements and the camera skill and whatever. And then with that you can have a virtual camera in a 3D modeling software and just animate the T-Rex, which I got an animated T-Rex rig off the internet for cheap, or not cheap, for free is what I meant. And then what did I do then? Yeah, I animated it to like walk up from behind the log, just gotta stand there and go like raw towards me. And then I took that animation, added a green screen behind it, brought it over to Adobe After Effects, removed the green screen, added it behind the rotoscope log, and now you have a T-Rex animated behind the log moving with the picture, and it all kind of turned out really well. Then I added in some artificial camera shake, and I did a little bit of sound design, just smacking a whole bunch of sounds together, adding some big hefty footstep smacks. And yeah, that's kind of the stuff you can expect when you do a study with, oh, what's it called? Game design and media stuff. This was just me yapping on about something I find interesting. So hopefully, if you ever thought about doing something like that, it is fairly easy to get into and get to know. And if you feel like you can't afford the programs, then just know that there are other ways to get these programs, because they charge incredibly high prices and no one can afford that. And if a company is like has exorbitant prices, then it's always moral to seek another way, you know? So yeah, if you felt like that was at all interesting, I would say give it a try. And I think now that I've done enough yapping, I can go and give this a little bit of decorating on the inside. Maybe add a ladder, not a ladder, a lantern. And what would usually be in a chicken coop outside? A feeding thing. So maybe some hay. And I'm pretty sure they can access a feeder when it's in the ground. Do we have another feeder? Nope. Feeder. Let me make a couple and just throw those in there. Let me grab another actually, just in case. One for outside, one for inside, for when a couple get stuck inside or outside and don't move between, because they can move through a 1 block gap, I'm pretty sure. So I think, how would I do? Oh, maybe the curtain rods again. How do I make these? Nope. These. Oh, that's easy. Maybe if I do something like this. That's pretty nice, right? That looks like it's a little thing. Feeding trough. Is that what it's called? A trough? Let me actually move it over to one of the sides, I think. I could just hide the feeder down here. Yeah, that blends in nicely. And let me grab a whole bunch of carrots. Fill that up. And then the actual feeder. I want to put it there or down below. I think just put it here. Make it like 3 wide. Let's see how that looks when I do this. I think that's nice, right? Looks decent enough. So now we have food, we have water, we have a home. Right, decoration. As you might have been able to tell, I was a bit tired throughout this episode. School has been a lot and I didn't have quite as much free time as usual. All these deadlines and now projects, and yeah, it's all getting a bit much, so I'm a bit low on energy, but I did want to do something because it's been a while. So I didn't push myself too hard, and that's why this episode is shorter. And I mean, if you compare this to the lagoon, it's quite a big difference. And I'll probably start streaming again sometime soon, just so I can work on this a bit more relaxed, you know, have a bit more interaction. But this is, I think, how the enclosure is going to be looking. I added some of the little trees and a big tree, some pumpkins, and a whole bunch of everything. I don't know if I showed that yet, but there's like chains in there that they can sit on and play with the ball. And I have 3 dodo eggs. So, I mean, yeah, there's no real reason to wait around. Let's... Oh, they just come out. Just like that. Wait, why are you dying? Or are they like instantly really hungry? There you go. And Dinopedia. Okay, so all of these are tamed, and they were hungry. But look at the little guys; they're just like big chickens. And I think I properly secured this whole place. Maybe that this is a little dangerous, so I'll get rid of that and get rid of these just to make it more even. Although I like that less, but it has to happen. Yeah. So these are the little dodo guys. If you guys have any ideas of what I can add to this enclosure, because probably I'll come back to this sometime later and maybe give it a makeover, who knows. If you have any name suggestions for these little guys. Look at them. You can see the, what is it, like the little baby feathers. Also, this is a male, this is a female, and where's the last one? There you are. This is also a female. So if you have any names for these 2 girls and a guy, let me know in the comments. And again, I know I don't necessarily need to apologize, but like, sorry for the shorter video and the longer wait. That's just how life is sometimes. And I will leave it here for today. So any thoughts are appreciated. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Yeah, goodbye.